Hello everyone, so welcome to our video lecture. In our last lecture we have completed racemic mixture, meso compounds, enantiomers, diastereomers, RS configuration and all these things. Okay, so now let's understand one very important concept. See, this what I am going to teach you now is generally asked in various chapters. Okay, it is about chlorination. What happens? Suppose you are given a hydrocarbon. Okay, in that hydrocarbon, if you replace one hydrogen by any halogen, suppose I am saying chlorine, then that will be chlorination. If I say bromine, then bromination. Okay, generally we do bromination or chlorination. Clear? Now the mechanism, it is not our part right now. Right now our part is, suppose if I make hydrocarbon derivatives by replacing any 1, 2, 3 or 4 hydrogens by halogens, then how many isomers can be generated? Okay, so let's see one by one. Find monochloro products. It is also called monochlorination products, that is MCP. Find monochloro products. First is methane. Okay, so I am telling you in both cases, in both ways. Excluding stereoisomer and including stereoisomer. So let's see first of all CH4, methane. Simply if I say I have to replace one hydrogen by chlorine, see, mechanism is right now not our part, whether it is having free radical mechanism or carbocation will be formed or carbon ion is formed. That is not our case right now. Right now I just need to replace one hydrogen by one monochloro, so chlorine. So this will become, what it will become? It will become CH3Cl. Okay, CH4 replace 1H by Cl, so it will become CH3Cl. As we know, this carbon is having 3 hydrogens and 1 chlorine, so it is not a chiral center. So either we say excluding stereo or including stereo. This is not having any stereoisomer, so simply it is having one isomer. Okay, so number of monochloro products will be 1. Here also 1, here also 1. Okay, see, when I say here 1, it simply means it is not having optical activity, because if it is having optical activity, then there its mirror image will also come, then it will be become 2. Clear? Okay, so in this way you have to do. So let's see a few more examples. Number of monochlorination product in CH3, second CH3, CH2, CH3, third CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Okay, so try first of all by yourself what happens in these cases. Okay, I think done. So let's see one by one. See, in ethane, if I replace this hydrogen, any one hydrogen from this carbon or this carbon, that is same, because what you will get? You will get CH3, CH2Cl, chloroethane. Okay, so one chloroethane, any hydrogen can be replaced by chlorine atom, right? And see, it is not a chiral center, so only one monochloro product is possible. So the answer will be 1. Clear? Let's see this one. In this case, you have two possibilities. Why? Because you are having two types of carbon atom. It is 1 degree carbon and it is 2 degree carbon. Okay, so first 1 degree, case of 1 degree, what you will get? CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. It is 1 chloropropane. And in case of 2 degree, what you will get? CH3, CH, CH3, and this will be Cl. Okay, 2 degree chlorine. Clear? Now, it is 2 chloropropane. In both the cases, if I check, I find that this is not a chiral center. No chiral center here. Here also no chiral center, because this carbon is having hydrogen, chlorine, and both sides methyl. Okay, so I just have 2 possible cases, and these both monochloro products are optically inactive. Clear? So we are having answer here 2 monochloro products, 2 MCP. Next, come to this one, butane. Now we can replace this hydrogen by chlorine or this hydrogen by chlorine. See, either replace this 1 degree or this 1 degree, both same. This one or this one, both same. Clear? Now let's see one by one. First 1 degree, CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. Okay. Now in this case what happens? You have possibility that this carbon having 2 hydrogen, so no optical activity. Now for 2 degree, CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, and this is having Cl. Now yes, here you are having this asterisk. You remember asterisk symbol for chiral center, chiral carbon. This carbon is having hydrogen, chlorine, 1 methyl and 1 ethyl. So dear students, here you are getting one optically active compound. So if you get optically active compound, so on monochlorination you have 2 possibilities. Either you will make R2-chlorobutane or S2-chlorobutane. So 2 possible cases, means for this I will get 2 and here 1. So total number of monochloro products in this compound will be 3. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Now let's see, in case of pentane, if I have to check monochloro products, what will happen? See, I am just representing only carbon atoms. Okay, so here 5 carbons we are having. You can make 1 chloro. Okay, you can make 2 chloro, or you can make 3 chloro. See, I am giving you the shortest way to represent. You can also make 1 by 1 all the cases. Okay, so let me tell you first of all the cases 1 by 1. So 1 chloro, 2 chloro, 3 chloro. Okay, now check 1 by 1. See, from this side or this side, both are same. Okay, now check 1 by 1. If you get any chiral center, then you have to draw its enantiomer as well. Okay, so 1 chloro, it is CH2. No, optical activity is 0. Here, yes. See, this one is chiral center here, because this is carbon, CH3, chlorine, hydrogen, and this propyl. So from here you will get 2. Here you are having 1. Here you are having 2. Here hydrogen, chlorine, and this ethyl and ethyl, so 1 only. So I can say in this case this part will give you 1 monochloro product, but this part will become chiral, so it will give you 2 monochloro product. Okay, and this part will also give 1, so total will be 4. So I can say in this case the answer is 4. Clear? Okay. Next, check in cyclohexane. Now in cyclohexane, if I have to say monochloro product, it is very simple to see that in any of the portion, see all portions are symmetrical, so in any of the portion, suppose I say here, so what it will become? It will become 1 chlorocyclohexane. So only one possibility, right? Let's see. If I say neopentane, neopentane means 5 carbons. It is actually 1, 2, 3. 2,2-dimethyl propane. So in this neopentane, if I say that this carbon is already 4 degree, so here you cannot place any chlorine. But in these any of the methyl you can replace one hydrogen. So you will get, suppose I replace this one here Cl. So I can say this is not a chiral center. So in this case also we'll get only one monochloro products. Okay, clear students? Now let's see a little better questions. Find total number of monochloro products of cyclopentane. Find total number of monochloro products of cyclopentane. Here when you say total number of monochloro products, you mean including stereoisomers. Okay, so this is cyclopentane. Okay, now let's solve. Suppose if I say same position to chlorine, wait, it is not monochloro, it is your dichloro. For monochloro, you know that it will be one chlorine, so it will be simply one only, right? Now I am asking about dichloro product, okay, DCP. Now if same carbon is having both the chlorines, I can see here that it will be having plane of symmetry, right? It will be symmetrical compound. So there will be one possibility only from same carbon atom. Another possibility is one-two position. Okay. So friends, if I say 1-2 position means 1,2-dichlorocyclopentane, then there are two cases. As we know, this will show geometrical isomerism, means if both the Cl are on same sides and if both the Cl are on opposite sides. Let me draw. Now, in these two cases, let's see. If both the chlorine are on same sides, I can say that this is meso compound. See, we have already studied about meso compound. Okay, so I can say meso means optically inactive. It is having two chiral centers, but it is having plane of symmetry and it is optically inactive. So this one, first case, and this one. Now it will not be having plane of symmetry nor having center of symmetry. There is no symmetry at all in this one. So for this we will be having its mirror image as well, because this is optically active, so its enantiomer will also exist. Okay, so in dichloro, from 1-2 position I am having three cases, one here and two here. This will be optically active, so two cases. Okay, from 1,2-dichlorocyclopentane. Now let's see another case. 1,3-cyclopentane, 1,3-dichlorocyclopentane. In this also you are having two possibilities. When both on same side and when both on different sides. Now in this case, students, you can understand, see, when both are on same sides, either wedge or dash, okay, you will be having plane of symmetry, so it is again a meso compound. Okay, so it will be optically inactive. So when the compound is optically inactive, its mirror image will be identical, not enantiomer. So need not to think that both wedge and both dash are different. Either wedge on both chlorine or dash for both chlorine, it is identical. So one case. Now in this case, see, it is 1,3 position, so I cannot say that these two chiral centers will be having COS. No COS here. So again, one from here and two from here, because it is optically active. Okay, So students, let's count how many total dichloro products of cyclopentane you can obtain. From 1,1-dichlorocyclopentane, there is one possibility, 1. From 1,2-dichlorocyclopentane, you are getting 3, 2 optically active, 1 inactive. And from 1,3-dichlorocyclopentane, you are getting 3, 1 inactive, 2 active. So total will be total DCP equals to 1 plus 3 plus 3, 7. Out of 7, 4 active plus 3 inactive. Now see, when I say 4 active, I means that already I have counted its enantiomer as well. Okay, means there are total actually 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this one and this one, they will be optically active, so its mirror image is also counted here. So total 7. Clear? Remember, the way question is asked, in that way only you have to answer. Here I am saying total dichloro products including all isomers, then 7. Total dichloro product of cyclopentane including stereo, then 7 including GI and optical. Okay, but 4 active and 3 inactive. Okay, let's find number of dichloro products of N-butane. Now I have told you earlier about number of monochloro products of N-butane, so you just find it out. First of all, let's see how many of you are doing correct. Okay, so I am solving here. You pause the video and solve by yourself. So first of all, N-butane is this one. Now dichloro products, when I say dichloro products, what are the possibilities? First of all, let's draw all the structures. See, here you need not to represent all the hydrogens. If you simply represent these 4 carbon atoms, that is okay, N-butane. Okay, or you can properly represent in this way also, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Now let me check. First possibility is that if I place both the chlorine on same carbon atoms, either 1,1-dichloro or 2,2-dichloro. Clear? Both chlorine on same carbon atoms. So 1,1-dichloro or 2,2-dichloro. In both the cases, see, this is not a chiral center and here also no chiral center. So one case only. One case only. Okay. Now let's see when the 2 chlorines are on adjacent, okay, or all other cases. Now let's see 1, 2, okay, another will be 1, 3, another will be 1, 4. Clear? Now one more case I can say, 2, 3. So let's see, all these cases are possible. First I have drawn all the structures, okay, means different connectivity, 1, 1, 2, 2. Now 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 or 2, 3. Any another case if you can think? No. Okay. So now let's check and count optical isomers in these cases. See, here it was 1, here it was 1. Now if I see this one, then I find that this carbon is not optically active, but this carbon becomes optically active. Why? Because this carbon is having chlorine, hydrogen, ethyl and chloromethyl. So here with this one I will get 2. Why? Because it is active, so its mirror image will also be there, means RS both. Now check this one. See, again this 1 chloro no issue, but this 3 chloro, this will become chiral center having chlorine, hydrogen, methyl and this 2 chloromethyl. So it is also giving 2 isomers, okay, because it is optically active. Now if I check this one, in this one what will happen, It is 1 4. No chiral center. So simply 1. Okay. Now let's count this one. What will happen in this case? So dear students, this is also a chiral center and this is also a chiral center. So it is 2,3-dichlorobutane. Okay. Now here you have to open your mind and think properly. Proper imagination is required because you have understood the concept of meso compounds. Okay. Now think. Let me draw the structures here. If you remember, this can be drawn like this, 2,3-dichlorobutane. Now when you say meso part, means when both the chlorines are on same side, then this particular isomer will be optically inactive due to internal compensation. It is meso compound. So one case like this, okay, one possibility. Now if both the chlorine atoms are on opposite side, see, this is also one stereoisomer. In this case, what you see, that it is not having POS or COS, it is optically active. So its mirror image also be there. Clear? Now, hence we can say it is having 2. Means total for this compound, you are getting 3 different cases. When both Cl on same side, meso. When both Cl on opposite sides, then enantiomer. Okay, its mirror image. Optical activity is present. Now, let's count total. So, this gives you 3 different cases. So, on counting, I find that 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10. 10 is the answer. Okay. Now, if you are asked how many optically active, then you can say 2 to 4 and here also 2, 6. 2 cases, right? 6 active out of 10. Clear to everyone? So this was one of the best example to show you about dichloro products. Okay. So if you have done by yourself and if you have got the right answer, then you can note it or comment on the comment section. I will check it. Now, see this question. Find total number of isomers obtained on trichlorination of propane. Now, I am asking about TCP, trichloro product. Okay. Let's see. CH3, CH2, CH3. Okay, this is your propane, right? Now, let's draw all the cases. See, one case is if you place all the chlorine on same atom, either this side or this side, that is same. So it is having 1, 1, 1 trichloropropane. One case. Now, 2 chlorine on same carbon atoms. Then the cases will be either this one, 2 chlorine and here 1, or 2 chlorine on 1, 1 and third chlorine here. One more possibility, 2 chlorine on middle and 1 chlorine on any of the side. Okay. Now here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. One more case will be if you draw all the chlorines on individual carbon atoms. Fifth, chlorine, chlorine and chlorine. So dear students, in this case you can see all the possibilities I have mentioned. Okay. Now check by yourself first of all that which one is having optical activity. If anyone will have optical activity, then we have to draw its enantiomer as well. Okay. Then we have to consider both cases. Okay, so let's see one by one. Here no chiral center, so 1. Here if I see this carbon is having both chlorine, this is having CH2, so only 1. Here if I say this carbon is CH2, it is CH2, and this is having both side chloromethyl, so it is also having 1. Now check this one. So this is 2 chlorine and this is CH2, so it is having 1. But this one, yes, here you can see this carbon is having methyl, chlorine, hydrogen and dichloromethyl, so it is a chiral center. Okay, so this will give you 2 cases. So total will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2, 6. Okay, so the answer will be 6. TCP products on trichlorination of propane will be 6. Clear? Okay, so I think all of you must have understood how to check MCP, DCP, TC or all other cases. If you are asked in the examination, you can do it. Okay, clear? Okay. So students, DL configuration. Now you remember DL. Earlier I used small d, small l, dextrolivo, and this is a DL. Now this is different, okay? This DL configuration is very different from small d, small l. That was experimental, D or L. Okay, now let's understand what is DL configuration. See, RS configuration is used for all the compounds, but earlier this DL configuration was used, okay, and specifically for carbohydrates and amino acids. Okay, these are actually biomolecules. Okay, so DL configuration was studied and is used in case of carbohydrates and amino acids. Okay, so let's see one by one. First of all, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. So what are carbohydrates? If you remember sugars, glucose, fructose, okay, so these are all carbohydrates. In another term, they are also called as saccharides, polysaccharides, monosaccharides, disaccharides. Saccharide simply means for sugar. Okay, so carbohydrates, in one way it is said as hydrates of carbon. Okay, but in modern definition, if I say carbohydrates, they are polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone or which produces polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone on hydrolysis. So those compounds which are having more than one, means 2, 3, 4 polyhydroxy ketones or aldehydes, okay, 2 or more OH groups and having functional group ketone or aldehyde, or those compounds which upon hydrolysis produces polyhydroxy ketone or aldehyde, they are known as carbohydrates. Okay, note it down first. DL configuration in carbohydrates. Okay, now see, there is no relation between capital D with small d. Okay, and also there is no relation of a compound having DL configuration with RS configuration. RS configuration is different, DL configuration is different. Okay, now let's see. So let me take an example of D-glyceraldehyde. This is one of the very famous compound which will be studied in biomolecules. Okay, see this one. This compound is having 1, 2, 3. 2,3 dihydroxy propane 1-al, propanol. Okay, propanol al aldehyde. 2,3 dihydroxy. So it is dihydroxy aldehyde. So it is a carbohydrate, right? Now when to use D and when to use L? So simply remember the few rules. Longest carbon chain on vertical line. First observe the compound. You have to make longest carbon chain in vertical line. Second, highest priority group. At the top side. Okay, highest priority group means, as we know that a compound can have 2 or more functional groups, so the highest priority group must be at the top of vertical line Then with respect to, see, to make the definition easier, I am using the very simplest term. Then with respect to second last or second OH. Now this second last or second I will discuss with respect to the example. Okay, then with respect to second last OH, decide DL configuration. Okay, see, OH on right, then D configuration, and left, then L configuration. Now for memory you can remember left L. Okay, left side OH, then L, then right side will be D configuration. Clear? Now let's see what is D-glyceraldehyde. So right side D, left side L. Okay, now when you say D-glyceraldehyde, what will happen? In D-glyceraldehyde, why we say D? See, here right side is OH. Okay, so when right side is OH, then I can say this is second OH. In terms of numbering, it is second last OH. See, this one is second last OH. Okay, so it is D-glyceraldehyde. I think everyone must have understood this part. Clear? Why it is called second last? Here it is second last. With respect to this last, it is second last. If I see in this one, second OH will be this one, but I am telling second last. Why second last? Suppose you are having 3, 4 or 5 OH groups, then from you have to check the second last one. Okay, let me check with another example. Now find DL configuration in these compounds. Okay, so if I see these compounds, then what I will see that in this it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now this is last OH, this is second last OH. So with respect to second last OH, students, you have to consider this second last OH. Vertical line for carbon atoms, top priority group, function group at the top, then second last OH on right side. So it is D, having configuration D. Okay. Now I am not going on the name of this compound. Just like I just told you, D-glyceraldehyde, that name is used. We'll study in detail in biomolecules. Okay. But this D configuration you understood, right? Here let's see. If you remember this compound, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it is C6, hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, S12, O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it is C6H12O6, okay. I am not going in detail whether this compound is glucose, fructose, mannose, okay. We'll discuss later. But now here let's see the configuration. OH on right side, so it is D form. Clear? Let me take one more example. See, this example tells you the importance of second last or which OH to be selected. Here I can say that with respect to 1, 2, 3, 4, this OH, so this second last OH on left side, so it is L configuration. Clear to you all? Okay. Now D-glyceraldehyde, one important thing, remember, mirror image will give you L-glyceraldehyde. Okay, what was D-glyceraldehyde? Now, if I draw its mirror image, I will find okay, so students, this is your D-glyceraldehyde, D. Why? Because this OH on right side and is OH on left side, so it is your L-glyceraldehyde. Clear to you all? Okay, see, sometimes you are asked which compound will be D form and L form. So first of all, do one thing, bring the carbon atoms on vertical line. Why? Using even interchange. Okay, you remember that thing. Then check D or L configurations. Okay, clear? Okay. Find DL. Okay, so in this compound you have to find D or L configuration. See what happens here. Here we have to note down a few points about the DL configuration. First of all, DL configuration must be studied in case of Fisher projection only. Okay, we'll use Fisher projection and then keeping at the top highest priority functional group and checking the second last OH which is away from functional group in Fisher projection. Just like RS configuration, here you are using DL configuration for carbohydrates and amino acids only. Okay. Now for Fisher projection, this functional group is at the bottom, so I can recall the concept of or properties of enantiomers. If you remember the properties of Fisher projection, on rotating the molecule in the plane of paper from 180 degree, you get the identical compound, if you remember. So here what can I do? I can just hold this one and I will just rotate it like this. See, I'll just rotate it in the plane of paper only. In the plane of paper itself, this will come this side and this will come this side. So what you will form? This comes upside, okay, and this will come downside. Now what will happen? When you rotate this one, this comes top, then this will be your this part, and now this comes this side on rotation. So this is your OH, then this is your OH, and this is your H. Here from this one OH, so it is H. Clear? I just rotated this part like this, and this part came this side. Okay, on rotation, if I see CHO comes on top, then this OH comes this side. on rotation. So hydrogen goes this side, this hydrogen goes this side, and this OH comes here. Now you can say with respect to the functional group, this OH, second last OH is on right side. Okay, so for right side it is D configuration. Got it? So students, in this way you need to check DL configuration. Okay, now the question says, sir, can we check RS configuration in carbohydrates? Yes, you can check it, no issues. We have studied RS configuration for all the compounds. Okay, so RS configuration can be studied on those all. DL configuration in amino acids. Okay, so first of all, see what are amino acids. Amino acids, as the name suggests, amino acids, it contains both amino group as well as carboxylic acid, acidic group. Okay, means amino acids are as compounds which are having both amino part, amino group part and acidic part. Okay, for example, COH, NH2, H and H, a very simple amino acid. Okay, clear? This is an amino acid having this acid and this amine. If we can see, this compound is not having any chiral center. Okay, so there is no talk of DL configuration here. I'm just giving an example of amino acid. Now generally if we see, these amino acids exist as dipolar ion, exists as COO minus, NH3 plus, H and H. Why it occurs? It occurs because it is having basic as well as acidic parts, so intramolecular acid base reaction occurs. So this is called as dipolar ion. Okay, and now it is ionic in nature, so you can say that due to being ionic, it becomes highly polar in polar solvents like water. Clear? Now let's see about DL configuration in amino acids. DL configuration in amino acids means, see, all the rules are same in case of amino acids. Top priority functional group at the top, longest carbon chain in vertical line. Then here with respect to NH2 group you have to check. Okay, so if I say simply, this NH2 is on right side, so it is D amino acid. As I said, take the mirror image and you will get its L part. So NH2 here, this H and this CH3, so it is your L amino acid. I am not going in this amino acids common name, general name or IUPAC name. I am just telling you this is D amino acid and it is L amino acid. Okay, let me give you one more example. Okay, suppose if I say this one, see, it is having amino as well as acid, so it is an amino acid in spite of having alcohol. Okay, now here I have to check DL configuration, then I will use this amino part only. Okay, so it is your D form. Clear to you all? So students, here I have let you know all about DL configurations. Clear? When to study in carbohydrates and amino acids. Okay, so we'll continue our session in next lecture. Okay.